What is up, guys? This is Brandon and I'm back with another accounting video today, and today is going to be another Q&A part 2 of the CPA exam. So pretty much I'm just going to go through 6 questions that have been asked about the CPA exam and give a little bit of feedback and kind of just talk about my experience with each of these I guess certain topics. So before I go into the Q&A, if you guys could please subscribe to my YouTube channel, also comment any questions down below and like this video, that would be greatly appreciated. I really enjoy talking about the CPA exam as it was a pretty big portion of the last 2 years of my life. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I hope that I can continue bringing good content. Question number 1. How did you manage to study while working full-time? So as you guys know, I studied for the CPA exams approximately 18 months, and the whole time I was working full-time. I was, however, in industry, so I was in private, I wasn't in public, so I didn't really have too much of a busy season other than sometimes during month end I would have to work maybe 45 hours a week, which I know is nothing compared to, say, if you're working at a Big 4 firm or you're just going through a tax season. So pretty much my schedule was after work, every day during the week I would pretty much go to a boba shop, a coffee shop, and I would pretty much stay there from about, I would say, about 6 to 8:30 every single night. So pretty much get 2.5 hours of pretty much good study time, where I would pretty much at least do the reading portion of a module. So I would pretty much do the reading portion when I was at the boba shop, and then I would have to drive home, which would probably be an extra hour. Then when I get home, I pretty much go do all the multiple choice questions, and then I pretty much go to sleep. So that was pretty much my schedule for pretty much that whole 18-month period. Kind of sucks. It sounds like it sucks, but it's pretty doable if you really put your mind to it and you really focus on it. So yeah, I would pretty much aim for one chapter, I guess, in a week. As I said in my previous videos, I pretty much would add 2 weeks of study time for review after I basically finished going through all the materials. So pretty much like for FAR, yeah, I would study for 10 weeks to get through the 10 chapters, and then I would have 2 weeks extra to do the review period. So pretty much I was just on a strict schedule, not going out too often, and just basically just staying as motivated as possible. Question number 2. If you had to retake the CPA exams, what would you have done differently? So definitely the big thing is I would have taken it more seriously. In the beginning I was kind of just going through the motions, kind of just, you know, going through the lectures, watching the lectures, doing the skill practice, doing all the multiple choice, doing some of the simulations. But definitely once I figured out what works for me, which is pretty much just reading the book, going through all the multiple choice questions, having the 2-week review period, that pretty much got me in a groove, and I was kind of in a rhythm of studying. So if I had that, I feel like at the beginning of my studying for the CPA exam, I do believe that I could have passed it in less than 18 months. So pretty much from when I passed my first one, which was, I believe, last September, and then when I passed the last one, which was in June, that was pretty much a 9-month period. And I feel like if I started studying the right way from the very beginning, I probably would have been able to pass within that just say within a year period. Question 3. Would you recommend me taking the CPA exam before you took a full-time job, or should you start studying right away? So for the first part, I would definitely recommend you taking the CPA exam while you're looking for a full-time job, or even when you start a full-time job. I don't think that you have to necessarily focus only on the CPA exam. I think that it is valuable if you do have extra study time where you're able to study full-time. But if you are able to go get a job out there in accounting, I definitely think that it would be beneficial, because you can, if you can manage studying while working, you know, you'll be kind of killing 2 birds in 1 stone. You'll be getting your experience requirements that are required by most state boards, which could be from 1 to 2 years of experience under a licensed CPA. And you could also be, you know, getting some of your tests done. It might not be as quick or, say, efficient to just to work while you're studying, but I think that you will be gaining valuable experience, and you'll also be moving ahead in your career. I feel like if you wait too long, just say you take like a year or two of studying after school without finding a full-time job, that it could hurt you when you are applying for jobs later on. So definitely I feel like you can study while you're working full-time, and I definitely think that you should apply for jobs definitely even before you graduate from college. And then should you start studying right away? Yes, I believe that you should start studying right away. I believe like the knowledge that you do learn in college, some of it will transfer over into some of the CPA exams. So you don't want to keep on pushing it back kind of thing. You know, like sometimes we say we'll study for something like maybe in a year or two, and then when you hit that year, it's kind of like you've been out of school for so long that you might not even want to study anymore. So definitely I would recommend you studying right away out of college while you're still kind of in that rhythm from college. I know you might be tired, maybe take a couple months off, but definitely I would study as soon as possible. Question number 4, would you recommend me getting a Master's of Accounting to fulfill my education requirement? So in my experience, I didn't do the Master's of Accounting. I pretty much just stayed an extra year at college in my undergrad and pretty much finished up my units at a community college. So I've seen some other people take a Master's of Accounting, and also I've seen other people do the same method I did, where they just kind of took classes to get to that 225 or 150 unit threshold. In my opinion, the Master's of Accounting is a good program, but it's not necessary if you don't want to. If you want to go ahead and go get your master's, and maybe there's a 1-year program out there at your university, then go for it. But for me, I wasn't trying to, I guess, pull out any more student loans because I already had student loans from my undergrad. So at that moment, I wasn't kind of financially ready to take on more student loans. So pretty much what I did was I stayed an extra year, and I think I took 2 or 3 classes at a community college, and I basically got my units. And pretty much the requirements for the CPA are not even, it's not even like you need all accounting classes. Pretty much for those extra 30 to 45 units that I got, besides like my undergrad units, it was pretty much classes of non-accounting classes. I pretty much took like food and nutrition. I took some kinesiology classes. Like the CPA exam doesn't require you to have 150 units of pure accounting. So that's why I also didn't feel like it was worth to get the Master's of Accounting if I could just take, I guess, kind of easier classes, maybe classes, you know, that aren't as tough to pass, and pretty much get my units that way. Question number 5, if you're working full-time, what is a reasonable amount of time that it takes to pass all 4 exams? So in my opinion, there is no reasonable amount of time. I mean, I think that everybody kind of learns at their own pace, and everybody kind of has their own study methods. So some people could take, 5 years, some people could take 1 year, some people could take 6 months, and it doesn't really matter. I think that, just because somebody took the CPA exam 20 times versus somebody who took the CPA exam and passed on their first try, it doesn't mean that the person who passed on the first try CPA is any better than the one who took 20 attempts. So I mean, everybody learns at their own pace. I mean, I think like realistically, if you were to go and study, you're really focused on studying, and pretty much you don't go out much, and pretty much CPA exam is your life, and you're working full time, I definitely feel like you could pass within maybe a year or something. But it's not the case for everybody, and that's okay, because what matters is that you do get those 4 passing credits, and pretty much you're going to be licensed for the rest of your life. So it doesn't really matter how long it takes you. Just keep on going regardless of how many attempts it takes. Question number 6, did you use Becker's flashcards, and did you make your own flashcards? So I never used Becker's flashcards. I didn't get it in the package that I bought. I think that I did have the digital version of the flashcards, but I actually never used them. And did I ever make my own flashcards? I never did. I pretty much just referred to the notes that I would take while I was going through the book, and pretty much that's where I would write all the definitions and write all the formulas down. But yeah, I never really used flashcards at all in my review process. I've heard good stories though about Becker's flashcards, and that it could be useful, especially for the formulas and yeah, for the definitions. I feel like it could help, like if you're at a grocery store, just pretty much anywhere, and you want to pull out some flashcards. I've heard some stories about people doing that and it helping them pass their exam. So definitely, yeah, if you guys had I guess a little bit extra money and you wanted to buy the Becker flashcards, go for it. Alright guys, I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching another Q&A about the CPA exam. Please comment down below, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and also like this video. Really hope that you guys enjoy this content, and I will see you guys next video.